creating and loading and saving guidance lines on the Viper 4. We have this guidance line widget in the bottom right hand corner, and the first one you'll notice I have selected here is the last pass icon. So when this icon is up, if I go and spray coverage like a outside round, when I come up against that coverage, the monitor will create a guidance line that runs as straight or wavy as the previous pass of coverage. So doing a second headland or second round around the slough, it automatically creates that contour or straight guidance line. If I tap on this and I hit my straight line, by tapping on it again, I can select the straight line with a compass heading, and by using these arrows at the bottom, I can toggle between west, north, east, south to pick that, or I can hit the calculator and I can punch in 95 degrees, and when I mark my B point, it's automatically going to create a guidance line. So let's create a west line, so 270 degrees. I punch my B. Are you sure you want to replace your current line? I hit yes, and now I have a guidance line going east and west. Now this line will only be active in this particular job. If I want it to be available for future jobs under this field, I have to save that line. So by pressing and holding on the arrow, it brings me up this page. So at the top you can see I can set nudge values, my current nudge. I have my recal, which is also on our main screen here, or remark is also referred to from case monitors. But you'll notice I have a load and a save. So if I want to save this line, I hit save. You can see I have a guidance line in here that was created 21 feet from here called Regina North-South. This one is an east-west. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to rename it. I recommend using the field name and a direction. Regina East-West. And save that. So now that that line is saved, I can recall it again in this job or in future jobs. So long press on my up arrow. When I hit load, you can see I have a east-west line and a north-south line in this field. Now, if I want to use a guidance line that was created on a different field, I can go in and select no grower, and you can see that there are guidance lines on these test north-south and east-west. These are lines that I made when I didn't have a grower selected. So on older software versions, we have to remove the Grower Farm field filter to see our lines for our field. That was a glitch that is now repaired in newer software. So if I select my field again, I can see the lines that were created in this field. So if I want to go to the north-south line, I highlight it, I hit my check mark, and now I have a line going north and south. If I want to toggle it, I got to hold, load, east-west, check mark, and now I'm going east and west. So those lines can be loaded in future jobs. The remark will snap our line back to the center. So if you're using WAS and you line up in your tracks and it doesn't, your guidance line that you reloaded doesn't line up, you can hit recenter or remark and snap that line over. Once we're steering, if we're not happy with how our unit is steering, by clicking on our UT menu, going to the home screen. Now this screen can show up on the Viper, or we can have this UT push to the Pro 1200 to see it. But on the home page, we have a sensitivity which controls our unit, how it holds the line. So you can speed that up, slow that down a little bit to fine tune it. We also have a line acquire as to how hard it pulls to the line. So if you come on your line fairly straight, you might be able to run this at 90 or 100 and it grabs that line very aggressively. If you're a poor corner maker like I am, and you come in 20 feet offline at 90 or 100, it's probably going to slide you out of the seat trying to get to that line. You may have to back that off to 80 or 70 to make it come to the line a little nicer so it doesn't slide you out of the seat and bounce you off the window. Response speed, we have found we've adjusted that slightly. If the unit comes over a sharp hill or through a wet spot and it starts to have a side-to-side wiggle and takes a bit to straighten out, sometimes bringing up the response speed to 110, 115 helps it to hold that line in those difficult spots. Last pass sensitivity is how it follows the curves when you're using that last pass feature. These 4 can be played with at any time. There are deeper settings and full calibrations, but I don't recommend you get in there without talking to someone from your dealer first about where you need to go. If the calibration was done properly, usually some minor fine-tuning can be done here, but quite often we don't even touch those.